To remove and install the brake pads on your Polaris XPEDITION XP or ADV, follow these steps.
Park the vehicle on a flat level surface. Ensure it is in park and remove the key. Next, remove the wheel from the vehicle. Begin by loosening the lug nuts while the vehicle is on the ground, but do not remove at this time. Then, safely elevate the vehicle. Reference your owner's manual for proper lifting techniques. Once safely elevated, remove the lug nuts and set aside. Then, remove the wheel and set aside. Next, loosen the brake pad adjuster screw on the brake caliper. Then, remove the brake pad fasteners. The fasteners should either be replaced or have blue Loctite 242 applied before reinstalling if reusing. Continue by removing and discarding the upper and lower caliper mounting fasteners. Then, remove the caliper from the front hub and support it with a wire hanger, rope, or retention strap to avoid damaging the brake line. Next, push the caliper pistons into the caliper bores slowly using a C-clamp or locking pliers. Note that brake fluid will be forced back into the master cylinder fluid reservoir and can cause it to overflow. Remove any excess fluid needed to prevent overflow and wipe up any spills promptly to prevent paint damage. Then, push the mounting bracket inward and pivot the outer brake pad out between the bracket and caliper body. Once removed, repeat this process for the inner pad. Next, slide the caliper mounting bracket off the caliper, using care to ensure it is still supported to prevent damaging the brake line. Before continuing, inspect the brake pads for wear or damage and replace if necessary. If the pads are contaminated with grease, oil, or are liquid-soaked, replace both pads. Next, remove the caliper boots from the mounting bracket pins. The boots may still be on the caliper. Then, clean the caliper mounting bracket stems with a shop rag. Continue by inspecting the caliper boots for wear or damage and replace if necessary. Then, apply high-temperature grease to the stems. Next, install the longer caliper boots into the forwardmost caliper mount pin. Ensure the boot is secured over the lip on the mount pin by twisting the boots while working it over the lip on the pins. Before reinstalling the caliper mount, clean any dirt or debris off the caliper. Next, install the remaining shorter boot onto the rearmost caliper mount pin. Then, align the caliper mount with the caliper and press the mount in until fully seated. Continue by ensuring the boots are secured over the lip on the mount pin. To do this, press the caliper mount in and twist the boots while working over the lips on the pins. Next, reinstall the inner brake pad by hooking one side of the bracket first and then rotate the other hook into place. Once installed, repeat this process for the outer pad. Next, carefully slide the caliper assembly onto the brake disc, ensuring the brake rotor is between the two pads. Before continuing, ensure any items used to secure the brake caliper are removed from the wheel well. Then, install new upper and lower caliper mounting fasteners and torque to specification. Continue by installing the brake pad fasteners and torque to specification. Next, slowly pump the brake pedal until pressure has been built up. Maintain at least half of the brake fluid reservoir to prevent air from entering the brake system. Then, on the brake caliper, tighten the pad adjustment screw clockwise until the stationary pad contacts the disc. Then, loosen it half a turn counterclockwise to allow the disc to move. Continue by verifying the fluid level in the reservoir is up to the max line inside the reservoir. Ensure any spills are cleaned promptly. Next, install the wheel on the vehicle and tighten the lug nuts until fully seated. Once installed, safely lower the vehicle until the tires begin to touch the ground. This will help keep the wheels in place when torquing. Once lowered, torque the lug nuts to specification in a crisscross pattern. Finally, lower the vehicle completely. Repeat this process for the brake pads on the other side of the vehicle. Brake pads should always be replaced in pairs. If the brake pads were replaced, the brake burnishing procedure should be completed by slowly bringing the vehicle up to 30 miles per hour and gradually applying the brakes until stopped. Repeat this procedure 10 times while ensuring the brakes have had sufficient time to cool between runs to prevent brake disc warping. For more information, see your authorized Polaris dealer or visit Polaris.com.